Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome. This is HD StarCraft, and I am back for some more StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm broadcasts. And today I'm going to be showing you guys a game with Shimoon from Team cWc. He will be the red Terran player at the top right-hand position of Daybreak, and his opponent is going to be none other than the Finnish professional StarCraft player, Welmu. And he is going to be the blue Protoss in the bottom left-hand corner, so it is going to be a pretty high-level StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm matchup here. And just wanted to say I haven't been making videos in the last few days for two reasons. Actually, I haven't been able to even get my StarCraft 2 replay system to work. For some reason, it keeps saying my region is out of date or is the incorrect region, so I've been trying to fix that. And I've also been kind of busy with some other things too, but just wanted to let you guys know that I am back now. I'm going to be casting some new Heart of the Storm games here, and I'll try to do some Wings of Liberty. But also, if you guys have any, if you guys know anybody playing Heart of the Storm at a high level or want to get your games casted, I'm doing 2v2s as well. Feel free to have those sent in to me at HDreplays@gmail.com, and make sure you guys attach the replay and a description of the game as well, because I like to read the description before I actually load it up. So that's that, and I hope you guys have been enjoying your new year 2013. It's actually now February 1st, and gonna be trying to dedicate myself to doing some more casting. So here it is. It's going to be Shimoon versus Welmu, a Terran versus Protoss, and this should be a pretty exciting one. Shimoon's been doing really well on my YouTube channel. He's been doing a lot of games on ladder himself, and he's been sending me a lot of replays. Pretty talented Terran player. But Welmu is an established professional StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty player, and he's been practicing a lot of Heart of the Swarm from what I gather as well. So this should be a good matchup. Speaking of good Protoss players, I actually have 3 replays of Whiterun that I cannot get to work for some reason. I've been trying to get those to work for like the last few days, but for whatever reason, like I said before, the game client won't allow me to load up games, and on top of that, I can't even play any matches on the ladder. I can't go on and play custom games or anything like that. Every time I try to load it up, my game just crashes. So I'm hoping Blizzard fixes that soon, but that's for, you know, hopefully they fix it soon. That's another tangent, that's another aside. But yeah, anyways, Shimoon versus Welmu here. It looks like Shimoon's going to be bringing his SCV over to the bottom left-hand corner. Going to check to see what's going on. We do have a Nexus coming up. Also note, just another random tangent here, Blizzard has went ahead and completely revamped the replay system. As you guys all know, you can now watch replays with your friends, but they've also made the whole replay system really, really cool looking now. It's going to take some time for me to get used to it, obviously, but you do have the timeline here, which I've obviously removed out for casting purposes, but the timeline looks different. The production tabs and all these income tabs, well, not all the tabs, but the production tab looks a lot different. So it's an interesting new setup here, as of course Heart of the Storm is going to be coming out in a month, so they've got to make sure that they get everything they've got to make sure they get everything set up the way they like it, or the way they want it to be. But yeah, anyways, it does look like Shimoon here has a command center coming, and he's got a bunker at the front. He does have double gases back at home, so we'll see if he opts to go for factory-based play or starport and get a quick Banshee. And Welmu back at home, he has a couple of assimilators. He's got a gateway and a cybercore, but no actual tech yet. Doesn't have additional gateways or Stargate or anything like that. He is making a mothership core out of the Nexus. There it comes, grand entrance for her. And we'll see what Welmu wants to do with this. A lot of Protoss players nowadays are really experimenting with being aggressive with the early mothership core. They send it out and they use his abilities and try to distract the Terran or do some type of damage. And the Time Warp ability is actually really, really good in the early game for that very reason. Also, of course, you can just pick off wayward SCVs that are hiding around in the Zonanga towers, and it looks like this mothership core from Welmu is going to do exactly just that, as a probe is making its way up to the top now, and is not going to really do much. I think that was just a scouting probe, but Shimoon is bringing a couple of Marines back here into the main base, and he's obviously prepared to deal with the mothership core when it does come in. And here comes Welmu with that core. Unlikely he'll be able to do much damage, really, because 3 Marines should be more than sufficient when it comes to dealing with a unit like that. We do have the supply depot, the emergency call down to add additional resources for the Terran player, and he is now moving up to a starport. I just realized my music options are not set. I actually had to reinstall StarCraft 2 like 4 or 5 times just to try to get everything working, and it still isn't working the way I wanted to, so I did just realize the music is not working right now. But that's okay, because you guys can just listen to me talk the whole time. We do have a Mothership Core now trying to take out that SCV. Building the supply depot was able to do just that, and limiting Shimoon now at 46, but he finishes it off with another space construction vehicle coming off the mineral line as he pulls his Marines out from the main base, and obviously he doesn't want this Mothership Core to do any more damage than she already has. But as long as Shimoon, you know, he micros and he doesn't let these Marines get picked off one by one, he should be okay. The Mothership Core, like I said, can't really deal with 3 Marines. It's maybe 2, but 3 is kind of pushing it for something of that low health. And doesn't really do that much damage either. Back at home, though, Welmu is adding on robotic support bay. There's the music with Forge, a couple of Forges, and it looks like he wants to go right into Colossus base play, which is totally fine, you know, considering he's scouted a couple of Marines at the front door, but he doesn't know what's going on back at home. Is the Terran fully going for full-on bio? Because if he is, then yeah, you know, Colossus makes a lot of sense, but if he's going mech, not really. Interesting that he used the Time Warp field here to slow down the resource harvesting rate of the SCVs and the Mule. And kind of nice, you know. It actually is more effective against a Mule than it is against an SCV, because the Mule obviously has a lifetime, and the longer you can delay it from, you know, if you can delay it from being utilized during its lifetime, then obviously it's a complete waste. So it's kind of nice to go in there and drop those Time Warp fields. We do have a medevac boosting in here, though, dropping off Hellbats. 4 Hellbats inside the mineral field, and these probes pulling out, but not pulling out quite quick enough, and about half of them going down there. Meanwhile, on the other side, it looks like this Mothership Core gonna return the favor with the Time Warp field again. Now, obviously, while the Time Warp field is annoying, it certainly is a lot less dangerous than losing you know, probes in the beginning of the game. Now, how many probes went down there? About 10. So that was a pretty devastating blow. Those Hellbats, when they go into Hellbat mode nowadays, they basically gain Blue Flame as a side upgrade. That you don't need to research Blue Flame anymore to make Hellbats able to do extra damage versus light. They just do that extra damage. Now, they do have a little bit less radius, but as you can see, 4 Hellbats inside the mineral line, it doesn't really matter what radius they have or what radius they don't have. That's going to be a lot of damage done. Now, it looks like this medevac is going to boost in here, but Welmu saw it with a pylon, and he's got a couple of stalkers here. Now, these Hellbats have got to focus the probes down. It looks like they're going to try to do just that. The probes are all bunched up, and it looks like Welmu pulls out and now comes back in because he has dealt with the threat, but not before. Wow, 27 workers killed just due to those Hellbats alone. And now, of course, if you hadn't calculated any of the Hellbat damage at all, then Welmu would have like 60, maybe 70 workers right now, but he's lost so many from that attack, from that dropship, that now he's down by about 12 harvesters. He's lost his scouting observer at the front door as well, so he's basically working in the dark here, and he's got limited economy. Now, he knows what he's got to realize at this point, that Shimoon is not going full on bio because of the fact that he saw Hellbats and medevac coming in. Obviously, yeah, Shimoon can switch back into bio if he wants to, but the Colossus, what I'm trying to get at here is the Colossus aren't actually all that great against Hellbats. At the same time, the Hellbats aren't that great against Colossus either, but you know, the bottom line here is going for Colossus tech. It might not work out for him, because Shimoon's army right here is pretty much comprised of, you know, half bio, half metal, and Hellbats are pretty tanky. Colossus don't do so well against that, so we'll see what happens. But Welmu is right now trying to make up for the resources he lost by going for another Nexus up here at the top left-hand corner, and that's totally fine. We do have on the production tab 1 Colossus on the way, Zealot charge. It's actually kind of hard to read this right now. I'm not used to the production tab looking so spaced out like this, but as you can see, actually can't even show upgrades anymore. That is really interesting. Pushing G used to show upgrades, but I guess not anymore. But we can see 1 Colossus, Zealot charge, a couple of other upgrades coming out. But here comes Shimoon, man. He's got the advantage, and he's going to push in with a Hellbat Marine army. And do these Marines have any other upgrades? It looks like they've got Stim, and that's about it. Nope. No, they do have combat shields as well, excuse me. It's hard to see, but they do have Stim and combat shields. And they are getting +1 armor. Their current upgrades are at 1 weapons. So they're about to have 1-1. Will Welmu be prepared to defend his 3rd expansion from this attack? I don't know. we'll see. It looks like he's coming around the back here. He picked off the scouting marine inside the main base. But I think Shimoon is just posturing. I don't really think that he's going to go in for a full-on attack here because it poses his army at great risk, especially with all the sentries here and the force fields that can cut his army apart. He really doesn't have that many medevacs, just one, in order to escape from the force fields and they're, you know, cutting off his army. So I don't think he's going to actually risk going in. I think he's going to sit back. He's going to get another expansion. As you guys can see here, it's already got it established. And he does have a medevac down here in the bottom corner, but there's an observer there. And, you know, most good Protoss players, they'll put an observer, one at each corner of their base, to check for impending medevac drops, and that's exactly what this observer is here for. Now, this medevac is not going to do anything at all, but very good awareness by Shimoon. He pulls out. However, at the same time, he's coming in at the top now, and I think he thinks that that medevac proved to be a good distraction, and it's going to allow him to come in and snipe this base, and that's exactly what's going to happen. In fact, this Nexus is going to go down, and yeah, that went down really, really quickly. Now, here comes the Mothership Core and the rest of the Protoss army. It looks like a good time warp field there to, along with force fields, to slow down the retreat of these forces, but the damage has been done. The Nexus has fallen. Shimoon can just pull away now. He doesn't need to stay and fight. It looks like he's going to stim and go in anyways. It looks like there's a time warp field. Guardian shields coming down, bubbles all over the place. But honestly, Shimoon doesn't have enough of an army to fight this off. Too many Stalkers, too many Colossus, and the Terran army is going to fall. And now Welmu, he's got to go for a counterattack. He just lost his Nexus. He's been down Harvesters this game. He just won a big fight. If there's ever a chance for him to capitalize and maybe rebalance his position in this game, he's got to go now. This is his one opening, and Shimoon knows it. He's building up a couple of depots right now, as if it's really going to stop anything. But he needs to remacro his army back at home. It looks like he's got Marines, Marauders, a couple of Vikings. This dropship actually moving in the wrong time, and ends up getting caught by the Protoss army. And now Welmu, he's got to realize this is it. He's got to at least take out this command center, and he's going to go for it. He's got a lot of Stalkers, Colossus coming in as well. They're going to try to snipe out the command center, but there's some Vikings, and here comes the Terran army. They are corridored by the force fields and the supply depots, though. But that should be enough Vikings to take out these Colossus. And meanwhile, a couple of Stalkers coming around the back through the mineral field. And I really think Welmu's got the best position here. He's got such a great concave. He can pull back. If only he had some Zealots here, Zealots would be able to rip through the SCVs at the mineral fields. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a pylon nearby, or does he? Yes, he does. He's got a pylon. He's bringing in more Zealots. He was able to focus down the command center as well. Very nice snipe. And then he blinks away with the Stalkers. Very, very good job right there, and that's exactly what he needed to do. You can see now it is 126 supply to 127, and those numbers are continuing to variously change, but that attack was exactly what Welmu needed to rebalance the aspect of this game, because he was so far behind after losing that Nexus, and he took advantage of his window of opportunity. Very nice job. We do have Mobius Reactor coming right to get some ghosts on the field. And that's a good decision because there's Archons out here now. It looks like Welmu's going to go in. Those Hellbats in the front are just doing a bunch of AoE damage, and they don't go down all that easy either. But thankfully, Welmu doesn't have that many Zealots here. He's mostly got Archons and Stalkers, which are more resistant to fire. And it looks like now he's going to try to take out this command center. Can he do it? I don't think so. Too many reinforcements coming down the ramp. A lot of medevacs up here healing as well. More Zealots charging in here now. And Welmu's going to try to push this army back. He's even reinforced with another Colossus. Now he needs to refocus his efforts on this command center, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Very nice job by Welmu. He kills off the CC again, and Shimoon is unable to get the cancel off, which further puts Shimoon in a deficit now. We can see 114 to 102 supply. Welmu doing a really nice job in showing why he's a professional gamer in StarCraft 2. Now warping in a couple of Templar. Doesn't have Storm yet, so he's just going to go ahead and make those into Archons. He has another Nexus coming in the middle of the map. And we'll see if Shimoon can come back in this game. You know, I've casted a lot of games with Shimoon. I've seen him come back from deficits before, but this is looking kind of bad for him. We'll see what happens. He needs to get this third command center up at all costs. And really, I don't know how he's going to be able to do it. He's trying to, you know, put his forces here at the front door, but at the same time, he's got to be worried that there could be an attack that just comes right through this area as well. So he's almost forced to kind of keep his army or his attention split at two different places, which isn't optimal. And here comes Welmu once again, just forced. This time, at least Shimoon gets a cancel off, but he just completely rips that command center apart. And Shimoon now is starting to breathe heavy because he's running out of minerals, he's running out of gas, he's only on 2 bases. Welmu is about to be operating on 4 bases. So, and you can see his upgrades are at 3-1-3. The Terran Biological is only at 2-3. So, obviously upgrades here are not good for the Terran player. Compared to the Protoss, and his army isn't that big either. There comes the Mothership Core, another Time Warp Field over the remaining SCVs, just for last laugh, I guess, because those SCVs are really the only place that are still mining. And now here comes Welmu. He's got to be careful though. That's a lot of AoE. He doesn't want to run up the ramp. In fact, he could just stay here and continue to keep the third area vacant, force vacancy on this potential command center, and obviously don't allow the Terran to expand out here. And eventually, he could just play this game of an embargo and prevent the Terran player from really coming back in this game. Here comes Shimoon, he's bringing all the SCVs down. Oh my god, all these SCVs are just going to get railed, and Welmu is going to win this fight. So there you can see an absolute dominating victory by the Finnish professional player Welmu. Pretty cool game right there, just kind of showing some Terran versus Protoss, and nice to get my feet wet again with some more StarCraft 2. By the way, once again, if you guys know anybody or you guys watch any streamers that are playing Heart of the Swarm, feel free to have them send their replays in to me at HDreplays@gmail.com. Make sure to attach the replay to the email and have a little description of the game as well, and I'll take a look at it. Next up, we'll have some more Heart of the Storm replays. I do, once again, still want to get some Wings of Liberty done before Heart of the Storm officially releases next month, so I'll try to have that for you guys very soon. But for now, this is HD StarCraft. Hope you guys are having a great time. I'm signing out.